If you're over 50, you've probably noticed little moments when your memory doesn't feel as sharp as it used to. Maybe you walk into a room and forget why you went there. Maybe you misplace your keys, your glasses, or your phone more often. Or maybe you find yourself struggling to remember names, appointments, or even the details of conversations you just had. These moments can be frustrating, even a little scary, and it's easy to wonder, is this just aging? Is this normal? Should I be worried? Well, here's the truth. While some changes in memory are a normal part of aging, many of the memory issues people experience after 50 are not just about getting older. They're the result of hidden, fixable factors that most people don't even realize are affecting them. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. In this video, I'm going to break down 3 hidden reasons why you might be forgetting things more often after 50, and more importantly, I'll explain what you can do about each one to start improving your memory today. Now, before we jump in, I want to tell you something important. Memory decline is not something you just have to accept. You are not doomed to become forgetful or mentally slow just because you're getting older. Science has shown over and over again that the brain has an incredible capacity to adapt, heal, and grow, even later in life. But here's the key. You have to know what's really causing the decline so you can take the right steps. Otherwise, you might waste time on solutions that only scratch the surface while the real problems continue underneath. That's why today's video is so important. I'm going to walk you through 3 specific research-backed factors that quietly chip away at memory after 50. Factors that most people never hear about from their doctors or from mainstream advice. And the best part? Each one has a clear, simple fix you can start applying right away without needing fancy programs, expensive treatments, or huge lifestyle overhauls. So, if you've ever felt frustrated, embarrassed, or even a little scared about your memory slipping, stay with me because this video is here to give you answers and solutions. And make sure you watch until the very end, because not only will I share the third and most surprising reason, but I'll also tell you about a brain support tool I've personally used that can amplify all of these improvements even further. I know from experience how discouraging it can be to feel like you're losing your mental edge. I've been there myself, struggling to recall simple things, feeling foggy, missing details I used to catch easily. But the good news is it doesn't have to stay that way. You can take back control of your memory, your focus, and your mental sharpness starting today. So let's get into it, because the sooner you understand what's really going on, the sooner you can start making positive changes. Ready? Let's dive into the first hidden reason why we forget things after 50. Let's dive into hidden reason number 1, chronic stress and elevated cortisol levels. Now, you might be thinking, okay, stress, sure, but what does that really have to do with memory? And the answer is everything. You see, when you're under constant stress, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is part of your body's natural fight or flight response. It helps you react quickly to danger. In small doses, cortisol is useful. But when cortisol levels stay high for long periods, like when you're dealing with daily work stress, family worries, financial pressures, or even just constant low-level anxiety, it starts to become toxic, especially for your brain. The hippocampus, which is the part of your brain responsible for memory formation and recall, is extremely sensitive to cortisol. When cortisol levels remain elevated, the hippocampus actually starts to shrink. Yes, shrink. That means fewer connections, less ability to store and retrieve information, and a general sense of mental fog and forgetfulness. Have you ever noticed that when you're stressed, you're more forgetful? You walk into a room and can't remember why. You lose your train of thought mid-sentence. You forget appointments or tasks you were sure you'd remember. That's not just you being distracted. That's cortisol actively interfering with your brain's ability to function. And here's the kicker. The longer this goes on, the more damage it does. Chronic stress doesn't just cause temporary forgetfulness. Over time, it can contribute to long-term cognitive decline and increase the risk of conditions like dementia. But before you panic, let me tell you the good news. You can reverse this. You can actively lower your cortisol levels and protect your brain. And no, you don't have to move to a beach or quit your job to do it. Even simple daily practices can have a massive impact. Start by incorporating short mindfulness breaks into your day. Just 5 to 10 minutes of deep breathing, meditation, or even quiet reflection can significantly lower cortisol. Studies show that people who practice regular mindfulness have lower stress levels and better memory performance. Physical activity is another powerful tool. You don't need intense workouts. Even a brisk walk can lower cortisol and boost mood. And don't underestimate the power of connection. Talking to friends, laughing, sharing your worries, all of these social activities help regulate your stress response. Now, I know you might be thinking, I've heard some of this before, but here's why it matters. Unless you consistently address stress, none of the other memory strategies you try will work as well. You can take all the supplements, do all the brain games, but if cortisol is constantly flooding your system, it's like trying to patch a leaking roof without fixing the hole. That's why managing stress is the foundation of memory improvement after 50. And don't go anywhere, because in the next part, we're going to cover a hidden reason most people never think about, something that's probably part of your daily life right now, quietly chipping away at your brain power. Plus, remember to stay until the very end, because I'll also share the brain support tool I personally use that supercharges all these strategies and helped me regain my mental sharpness faster. Let's keep going. Now let's move on to hidden reason number 2. Lack of novelty and challenge in your daily life. This is something that almost no one talks about, but it's incredibly important for your brain's long-term health and memory performance. Here's the deal. As we get older, we tend to fall into routines. We go to the same places, see the same people, do the same tasks, watch the same kinds of shows, follow the same patterns every single day. While routines make life easier and give us comfort, they also quietly starve the brain of the stimulation it needs to stay sharp and flexible. You see, your brain is like a dynamic system. It thrives when it's exposed to new, challenging, and even slightly uncomfortable situations. This is how neural connections are formed, strengthened, and maintained. But when you remove novelty, when you stop learning or challenging yourself, your brain starts trimming away unused pathways. Think of it like pruning a garden. If you don't use certain neural circuits, your brain decides they're no longer needed and lets them weaken. Over time, this leads to a reduced capacity to adapt, solve problems, and remember details. Have you ever wondered why younger people often seem so quick to pick up new skills or remember small details? It's not just age. It's that they're constantly exposed to new experiences, new technologies, new people, new environments, new learning. When you stop feeding your brain new information and challenges, it's like putting your mind on autopilot. Sure, you can still function, but you're not growing. And without growth, the brain slowly loses sharpness. So, what can you do to fix this? You don't have to go skydiving or learn 5 languages overnight. Small, daily injections of novelty can work wonders. For example, you can switch up your routines. Take a new route when you walk or drive, try cooking a dish you've never made before, read books on topics you're unfamiliar with, or play games and puzzles that challenge your brain in different ways. Even something as simple as brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand can activate new parts of your brain and encourage fresh connections. Learning is one of the most powerful brain protectors there is, and the key is not just passive learning, like watching TV, but active engagement, where you have to think, adapt, and stretch your mind. This kind of mental stimulation keeps the brain young and resilient, even in later years. Now, I know it might feel overwhelming to add new things to your life when you're already busy or set in your habits. But remember, you don't need to overhaul everything. Just a few minutes a day of intentional challenge can make a big difference over time. And keep watching, because in the next part, we're going to cover hidden reason number 3, which is something most people completely ignore, yet it might be the most critical of all. Plus, at the end, I'll share the brain support tool I personally use that works perfectly alongside these strategies to amplify your results. You won't want to miss it. Let's keep going. Now, we've reached hidden reason number 3, poor sleep quality. This might sound surprising, but sleep is one of the most critical factors affecting memory, especially after 50. You might think sleep is just about resting your body, but the truth is, your brain is incredibly active during sleep. While you're asleep, your brain is busy consolidating memories. That means it's sorting, organizing, and locking in the things you learned, saw, and experienced throughout the day. Without enough, deep, uninterrupted sleep, that process breaks down. Have you ever noticed how much harder it is to focus or remember details after a bad night's sleep? That's not just because you're tired, it's because your brain didn't have the time to complete its essential housekeeping tasks. Studies show that adults over 50 who regularly get less than 7 hours of good sleep per night are at significantly higher risk for memory decline, attention problems, and even long-term cognitive issues. And here's the part many people don't realize. Even if you're in bed for 7 or 8 hours, if the quality of your sleep is poor, meaning you wake up often, toss and turn, or don't reach deep sleep stages, your brain still misses out. So, how can you fix this? Start by making sleep a priority, not an afterthought. Set a consistent bedtime and wake up time, even on weekends. Create a sleep friendly environment by keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Avoid screens and heavy meals before bed. And if possible, build a relaxing bedtime routine, something like reading, gentle stretching, or light meditation to help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. Improving your sleep quality doesn't just help you feel more rested, it directly strengthens your memory, sharpens your focus, and supports long-term brain health. Now, let's quickly recap the 3 hidden reasons we've covered today. Number 1, chronic stress and elevated cortisol levels, which quietly damage the brain's memory center. Number 2, lack of novelty and mental challenge, which leads to neural stagnation. And number 3, poor sleep quality, which disrupts your brain's natural memory consolidation process. The good news is that all of these factors are fixable. You can take action today to start reversing their effects and improving your memory. And here's something I want to share with you. In addition to applying these lifestyle changes, I've been using a brain support tool that's designed to naturally boost memory, focus, and cognitive clarity. It works alongside the strategies we talked about today to help amplify results even faster. I was skeptical at first, but after using it consistently, I noticed a real difference: sharper recall, better focus, and a sense of mental energy I hadn't felt in years. If you're curious and want to check it out, I've included the link below this video. Remember, improving memory after 50 isn't about doing one magical thing. It's about stacking simple, powerful habits that, together, create lasting change. You deserve to feel confident, sharp, and mentally strong, no matter your age. So take what you've learned today, put it into action, and give your brain the support it needs to thrive. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future tips on memory, brain health, and more. Here's to a sharper, stronger mind for years to come.